Welcome to the channel. I'm Steve the bartender, and today I'm going to show you a simple recipe to make orgeat and give you a few shortcuts to save you time and money when making it at home. Orgeat is an important ingredient in numerous classic cocktails, crucial in many tiki recipes, and essential in making a killer Mai Tai. Make sure you stick around and I'll make one. The team from Crew Supply Co sent me a few of these nifty bottles which are perfect for syrups, juices, and infusions. The simple design enables you to easily clean and sanitize your bottles between uses, which is critical for maximizing the shelf life of your syrups. So, what is orgeat? Orgeat is the iconic French almond syrup that is a staple ingredient in cocktail and home bars, and it's surprisingly simple to make. It was originally made with barley until it was discovered that almonds lent much more flavor to the syrup. A touch of orange blossom water also adds a bit of a subtle floral note. In its simplest form, orgeat is sweetened almond milk. Now you can go one of two ways. One, the quick and easy route of store-bought almond milk. Just make sure you get unsweetened almond milk. Or two, you can make your own almond milk at home. You can also play around with other nuts, such as pistachios, walnuts, macadamias, or cashews. You can also try roasting your almonds for a darker color and richer flavor. Now your first step is to blanch your almonds. As you can see there, these did have the skin on. All you have to do to blanch them is boil some water and pour over the top and leave it for 1 minute. And it will kind of sweat and the skins will just easily peel off. And if you want to save 5 or 10 minutes, you can just buy blanched or slivered almonds ready to go. So once you've got your blanched almonds, then you want to simply finely chop them. You can of course use a blender, and again that's going to save a little bit of time. I'm choosing to dice them finely because these are slightly wet from blanching, and therefore they kind of jam up the blender. Make sure you put a tea towel under your chopping board so it doesn't slide around. That's better. Now, of course, the finer you dice these, or the finer you blend them, then there's more surface area of the almond to the syrup. So the flavor will infuse a lot quicker and easier. And for those of you who've noticed, this bench top is quite low. It's a standard bench top height. It's 900 mil high. I'm quite tall. Since I've been doing the kitchen series, I've had a lot of people comment about my height, and yes, I'm tall. So now that I've finally diced the almonds, I'll set them aside into a bowl. I wouldn't say finely diced, roughly diced, roughly chopped. So next up, we're going to measure out the syrup. So this consists of 1 1/4 cup of water and 1.5 cups of caster sugar, which is also known as superfine sugar. Add that together and put it on the heat. So I've got the pot on the stove, and then once it reaches a boil, I'll add the almonds. It's going to drop the temperature slightly, and I'll leave the heat on for a little bit until it raises back up just before it starts to boil, and then I'll turn the heat off, and then I'll let it rest for 3 to 8 hours to macerate and extract the flavor from the almonds into the syrup. So now that I've dissolved the sugar in the water and I've added the almonds, I'm gonna let this rest for 3 to 8 hours. So now that the almonds have been steeping in the syrup for at least 3 hours, you can strain it using a cheesecloth. You only need a couple of layers. And keep in mind, if you've blended your almonds, it's gonna be finer and it's gonna be a lot slower and a lot harder to strain through the cheesecloth. Now that you've strained the last of the syrup through the cheesecloth, you can get ready to add the last couple of ingredients. Add half a teaspoon of orange blossom water and 30 ml 1 ounce of your choice of brandy. And then transfer it into a sterilized bottle. Now this should last about 4 to 6 weeks. So as promised, now I'm gonna make the Mai Tai, and I'm just gonna make it relatively quick and measure 30 ml. I'm using a Bajan rum. You can use a Jamaican if you prefer as well. So 30 ml 1 ounce, and then follow that by 30 ml 1 ounce of rum agricole. It's gonna add some sort of grassy, vegetal kind of notes in a good way. And then your orange liqueur, I'm using Clement, 15 ml, half an ounce. Orange liqueur, but adds a lot of spice as well. A lot of complexity. And then the Orgeat that we've just made, 22.5 ml, 3/4 ounce. Delicious almond flavours. And then fresh lime, 30 ml, 1 ounce. And I'll save one of those halves so I can use it as a garnish as well. So strained over crushed ice, garnished with that spent lime, and a sprig of mint. So as I mentioned before, these Cru Supply bottles, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check them out. And they're super handy. As the key feature being that you can unscrew the bottom of the bottles, really easy to access and clean. These bottles will last you a lifetime. And you've also got different styles of bottles, some that don't have measurements, such as this little one here, and then this one here, which makes it easy to measure your ingredients for your syrups, infusions, and so forth. And they also have pour boys available, which the rubber mold is actually molded right around the pourer, so this will not come off, and it gives a really nice steady pour to your syrups. As you can see, like so, no spills. There you have a Mai Tai. Cheers. You have to make your own Orgeat at home. That is delicious. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give us a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon for another cocktail video. Cheers.